Hello everyone and welcome to our fourth episode of our Meet TIGS series, where I'll be going over the general settings tab in our app menu here. So just looking at the general settings tab, like I mentioned in the first video, this is the most important thing of this tab in my opinion. Looking at the PSP values, so the probability of point scoring. This is kind of our bread and butter here with our TIGS app. Looking at reception and serve receive. Serve receive and serve. So this kind of depends on the team. So you want to add in, you can look at these different percentages from a previous season or maybe a first couple matches as you kind of enter through your season. What this talks about is what your win rate was with this team on a perfect reception, on a good reception, on an okay reception, on a poor reception, on an other reception. So for us, that's an overpass. And then on an error, obviously that's 0%. And then similarly, we look at what our team's win percentages on serve. So as we see here, obviously on a perfect serve, it's 100%. On an error, it's 0. And then good, okay, poor, and other, it's somewhere in between. So when we look at these different values, this definitely varies per team and definitely also varies per skill level, per gender. For example, in the club setting, you might have a serve win rate that's a bit higher than a reception win rate, just because the reception is a little bit worse in the club scene, and the teams don't side out as much as they do in the university scene. So just depending on kind of what you're looking at with your specific team, these will have to be adjusted. And then when it goes into expected win rate later in our coding, these will definitely come into play and will be used for advanced analytics for in-match decision making. So then moving on to the skill efficiencies. So depending on how you want to code, you can play around with this, especially in practice, where if you want to make, let's say, a perfect pass worth more than 1 point for a specific drill that you're doing. You can do that. So you can add in, maybe let's say a perfect pass is worth 4, and a good pass is worth 3, and stuff like that. You can add in these different hotkeys for the skill efficiencies, which can then optimize your training environment, or even potentially if you want to use those different values for coding in match as well. If you have specific ideas there, these can be optimized for whatever use you like. And let's say you kind of messed up and you put in the wrong values and you click save and you forget what the defaults are. You can always reset all, which puts it back to these general defaults that we've put in here, which were used from a university team setting. So that's kind of the overview of the general settings tab. And in the next video, I'm going to be going over a short match and and reports tab, just showing a match that has been coded briefly by us, and just going over how you can take in the data from a match and how these codes are used for your in-game adjustments. So looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.